Welcome to the preview, fuckers.
Functioning as himself for once. And like Matt said last time, he's throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. I think this is one of those things he's throwing at the wall to see if it sticks. He's trying to test out, will I get the same positive reaction and positive reinforcement from people if I just act as myself rather than Q? And I think he'll go back to posting as Q either way, because like he's going to be kind of addicted to it at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Allegedly.
Being free speech, they can say what they want. People, prime example, in a bar. Bunch of people in a bar speaking their minds. Whatever the fuck they want. Someone says something, they get punched in the face. Yes. Now, does the bartender deserve to be punished for the man getting punched in the face because he didn't like what the guy said? No. But if he then sides with said, attacker or makes fun of it in some way, should they be held responsible? Yes. Absolutely. Dickheads with power. Dickheads with weapons. Dickheads who can cause history with a single dumb fucking mistake because they believe one thing that is just astronomically stupid and has been taken too far, and he could just pop back up with that, which could cause another insurrection. We're living in such tumultuous times that we're one fucking spark away from setting off this huge powder keg. One point that just popped into my brain.
Man.
You want to run this board that anybody can say anything and just get it out there, which is great. But you have to understand the one person that kind of has to censor themselves in that situation is the person running the site.
Yeah, true.
You have to be smart. You have to know when to shut up.
Yeah.
And how to react. This is what happens when we give immature children power.
Hey folks, Dom here. Before we get started, I want to give everybody a brief trigger warning. We're going to be discussing QAnon, which will include topics such as violence, rioting, insurrection, racism, and anti-Semitism. Be warned, and if that could be a problem for you, we don't blame you if you tune out now. Hey folks, it's Editing Dom here. We do get a little ADHD sometimes. I wanted to take a moment to not only introduce myself, Dominique, Matt, and Sarah, but to invite you to a couple of things that will help to keep us on the air. Firstly, you can go to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts and leave us a review. We welcome written reviews. We want to hear about what could be improved. We want to hear about what you do like. Also, join us on our Discord channel and on our Instagram, First Question Podcast. There you can interact with us and let us know what stories you want to hear and what you thought of our recent episodes. Now back to the show.
Hey, fuckers, how's it going? Okay. Oh, jeez. How do we segue into something that doesn't make sense in the first place? I don't even think we have a segue right now. We have one of those uni-wheels, but the wheel's off, or there's one of those impact brakes in it where you get the lump in the wheel. So I think we just gotta flop into this bastard.
The wheels are off. We're flopping in.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. That idea. Just belly flop in like the belugas. Okay, before we get to comparing and contrasting Ron with Watkins, for those of you who are keeping score with the personality profile I made, let's get to the announcements. There's some Q updates.
Can it just be over?
I know.
No, it can never be over. It can never be over. There are still flat earthers around there.
Yeah, there are.
And or people believe that we live in a donut or under glass.
Yes. And these people. Oh, and guess what? On that note, on that segue, a bunch of Q promoters showed up, of course, without any masks or protection at all, to Dealey Plaza in Texas.
Oh, yeah. I heard about this.
Because they think JFK Jr. is coming back from the dead.
No. He faked his own death.
Oh, that's
so they're going to have, like, they are planning on the shambling corpse of JFK Jr. to just zombie walk out in the middle of Dealey Plaza.
Yeah.
And then
the big reveal.
Announce that he is going to be Trump's running mate.
Yeah.
Let that sit for a second.
No, let's make this even worse. Let's go farther into left field, into the ivy that's covering the walls of Wrigley. This is also going to mean that the running mate of Trump is in fact the first zombie.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Once again, the Kennedy curse brings us zombies, and my brain immediately went to the zombie director that from Courage the Cowardly Dog. Yeah, and that's JFK Jr. like coming out, looking just in a suit, jaw falling out, one eye out, hand off.
Basically.
Okay.
Close. I was thinking those zombies from Plants vs. Zombies, but yeah.
God, can you imagine if it was actually JFK who came back with half of his head blown off?
Right. Well, they think he's back too. They literally think he's. Wait, no, they do. Okay, so I'm just going to go into what I wrote. Firstly, before any of that, Ron Watkins, who's suspect A#1 for the person we think has been at least physically posting as Q, he's running for Congress in Arizona's 1st district, despite the fact that while he has property in Arizona, he doesn't fucking live in that district. He currently has a campaign finance committee set up, which I'm watching, but he says he hasn't taken any donations yet, and it shows that he hasn't. He has been going off and making these like announcement videos that look like they've been put together by the junior high AV club at some middle school somewhere.
Please tell me it looks, because we just watched it. Please tell me it looks like the scene in Evil Dead 2 where the orb or the tunnel comes to bring Ash back to the olden times. Like that's what I'm picturing right now, but just a pen floating up there, you know.
I love it. Yes. You know what? It's terrible. I don't recommend watching it all if you value your mental health. I mean, I'm sure that he is getting in-kind donations from someone, like somebody's helping him, but he's not recording any of it in his campaign finance committees. He's so sus at this point, I can't even. So now QAnon as a movement has decided, despite Q saying this wasn't true, as a movement, they've just randomly decided that JFK Jr. and JFK Sr. are both alive. They faked their deaths, and the junior is going to be Trump's vice president, either running mate or just vice president, since apparently Trump is still president, you guys.
First question, and this is from the Peanut Gallery, aka Ben.
Yeah.
He sent it to me via text, which I very much appreciate.
Thank you.
So now we're getting in text questions into first question.
Hell yeah, we got to call in with your questions.
Yeah.
We'll answer them next week.
Yes. So Ben said, first question, they realized JFK Jr. was just shy of Lenin in terms of political ideology, right? Like polar opposite side of the spectrum.
Yes, exactly.
And my reply is, no one ever said those Q dipshits were smart.
Yeah, exactly.
Second point, if JFK is in fact back from the dead, he would be a spring chicken at a very young 104 years old,
Yes, he
because he was born in 1917. On top of that, I would like to pose this question. That has to be one hell of an animatronics department that they think the White House and the government had back in 1963 that they had a false JFK riding around in that thing, waving, freaking out, you know, having a good time, shaking hands, kissing babies, probably flirting with nuns, showing his dick to somebody. I don't know. He was definitely on meth. We know that for sure.
And part of his brain just blows out on camera.
I'm getting to that part.
I was going to say, Operation Paperclip, anyone? Come on.
Okay, so then second, the android JFK, the false JFK, or in fact, they just used a body double.
And just shot the fucking guy, apparently.
But apparently this body double is so good, and or Jackie O is the most phenomenal actress in the world that she freaks out and tries to grab the head.
Put it back together.
If JFK, in fact, faked his death, he would have to do it in such a way that Jackie O thought he was dead this whole time. Wait a second. This all makes sense. JFK was a... That would take a lot of planning.
It would take so much planning. And even if one person
sucks
saw
at hiding his secrets.
Let's
be real. The biggest secret in Kennedy is where the fuck is his brain and who shot him.
Right.
Otherwise, no, we know he was fucking Marilyn Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
He was on meth.
Well, he was on pain meds for his back, but he was on other drugs as well. This guy, does he really fucking seem like somebody who would stay out of the limelight for like 70 years? Come on.
And like Matt said, spring chicken at a spry 104.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
but okay,
come on.
Sure.
It is not Grandpa from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's what's going to roll out. Just JFK, head blown out with a hammer flopping around.
Yes.
Oh,
but
God. Oh, my God. I'm going to mute myself.
There's so many other people we should bring back. I'm just saying. There's many other people.
Hey, bring back Malcolm X, bring back Martin Luther King.
Ben and I had a very long discussion.
Freddie Mercury?
Yes.
How about Freddie Mercury?
Yes.
Ben and I had a very long discussion today on the way home from the aquarium about what would Jimi Hendrix have done musically had he lived?
Oh my God.
And I said, could you just imagine the duet he would have done with David Bowie and Freddie Mercury?
Oh my God. Of course, Freddie Mercury would have done a duet with him, and David Bowie too, of course.
Oh yeah. It would, right? He would be doing you know how Tony Bennett used to do the duet albums?
Yes.
And he would like sing with like everybody. Yeah, that's what he would be doing right now.
Fuck yeah.
Right?
Well,
can we bring that one back?
Please. Oh, but no, this is the level of celebrity that these fuck asses want.
Well, okay. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be bad if either of them came back, but they have to. The QAnon assholes need to realize JFK and JFK Jr. are Democrats.
They are like dyed in a little like progressive liberal Democrat, but okay. One of the
Ben just said, and not Democrat light.
No, exactly, not Dinos or whatever. Like they're fucking real. Like what Democrats used to be. There are two current JFK Jr. impersonators. One of them, I guess we can get into it later at some point if we want to do an update during one of our other episodes. But the other is this guy who calls, thanks to Passion of the Christ actor Jim Caviezel for introducing.
And then there's this asshole.
Yes. Thank you, fucking Jim Caviezel, for introducing us to this fucking shithead that goes by the alias of 107, which I guess is a play on words to mean 107. Don't know what that means, don't care. 107 claims to be JFK Jr. and is helping to promote the upcoming full-on QAnon movie, The Sound of Freedom, starring
oh my God.
fucking Jim Caviezel, which I'm sure
oh my God.
going straight to DVD. It's going to DVD.
Wait. So you're telling me Jesus is into QAnon?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh God, that's
yeah.
what. Oh,
Yep.
I guarantee you that's why, like, we'll say 2/5 of the Christians are into QAnon too. Is they see Jim Caviezel, they see white Jesus, which
they do.
Anybody with a brain knows that Jesus wasn't white.
Yeah, like they literally are following white Jesus into QAnon. And I guess that this guy, Juan 07, who's totally not JFK Jr.
It's the dumbest fucking name.
It's so
God,
dumb.
it sounds
the name
like
is making me so mad.
But okay, he's
like a failed character from The Matrix.
Okay, no, it's better. He's an insurance salesman from Washington State, and his name is really Wayne. Wayne, the insurance salesman.
Okay, double or nothing. What kind of insurance does Wayne sell? I'm thinking liability.
Asteroid insurance.
Boom.
Solar flare.
Flood insurance in the mountains.
Yeah, flood insurance in the mountains.
Yes.
Tornado insurance in Washington.
Yes.
I mean, technically, you could get them there. It's just not really a thing.
Likely. It's not likely.
I mean, insurance salesmen are just shy of con artists.
Yes, I agree.
Saying.
Hey folks, Editing Dom here. Remember back in the day when you were a kid and you made some goofy face and your parents said, "Hey, don't make that face. If you keep making that face, your face is gonna stick that way." Oh, you don't? Yeah, neither do I, but I've heard it said. Well, that face, that's the one I'm making right now. And I think after covering QAnon, Grandma and Grandpa here might be right, that my face actually is going to stick that way. I'm going to look like the Joker for the rest of my life because I covered QAnon. We touched just now on who Juan 07 is. And Juan 07's real name is Wayne Willett. He's from Washington, and he was an insurance salesman. He is a podcaster and an author as well, in his own words. This book, referring to one of his books on Goodreads, is a 4-chapter transcript of speeches by Wayne Willett, using his nom de plume, Juan 07. Wayne is a major player in the conspiracy movement, having established for himself excellent credibility as a QAnon.
This is what's going on with QAnon. If anybody wants to follow this, I don't recommend it, but if anyone wants to follow Ron Watkins, I'm gonna absolutely do the opposite of recommending what I'm about to say. But
I know you guys are loving this topic. If you want to learn more,
please don't.
Don't go into it. Don't go into it.
But if you are going to do it and your sanity be damned, you can go to Telegram. That's the only Telegram and the app called Rumble are the only places that all of these lunatics aren't banned.
Oh my God. Please don't. Please.
Yeah. Don't.
Please. Public service announcement.
Don't.
Do not do that to your brain.
Your sanity will be challenged. It's bad. And so now Ron Watkins has not only revealed himself to the world, which I guess he supposedly said he would never do, but he's running for office. Let's compare and contrast him with the personality profile, but tips not drops.
Just that needs to be a t-shirt. Tips
Love
not drops. It does sound vaguely sexual.
It does. Ron's a self-described antisocial loner. I almost just read that as antisocial loser, but
you're not wrong.
You're not
Either
wrong.
are not wrong.
No, both right. Allegedly. Q, quote unquote, has said at one point that less than 10 individuals on Earth could identify who they are. That lines up perfectly with Ron Watkins, at least in his previous form, before he becomes like Mecha Ron or whatever.
Mega Ron.
Yeah. Just like Godzilla-esque.
Yeah.
I'm not through the countryside. Oh God, it just.
Could you imagine the smell?
The smell of angry virginity, I guess. I don't know.
Ugh.
So
I feel like it would smell like stale sweat and
yeah, definitely
Cheetos
and
cheese
stale
balls.
Sweat,
yeah,
stale sweat and half a can of Axe body spray.
the stale smell of Monster. So he vaguely smells like cat piss.
That too, and probably some sulfur thrown in there for a good measure.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So those
all tracks.
It does. So those aren't the only uncanny facts that make a good case for Ron being or having been Q. I put is in present tense, but as of now, Ron was the site administrator for 8kun, formerly 8chan, known as Code Monkey with a 0 for the O in code because I guess he's edgy or whatever.
And an explanation point because
and
he's
supposed to be
excited about it.
Oh,
he sounds so cool. Fuck, I would really like to slap him.
Me too. And Ron's dad, Jim Watkins, who again used to go by the nickname the King of Porn, and literally has a fucking company called Is It Wet Yet Inc., which, ew. By the way, thank you to Frederick Brennan. I'm not going to get into any of the personal stuff that we discussed or any of the stuff that he had asked to be kept private, but he was very helpful in assisting me in looking over the Watkins's various companies and shell company, allegedly shell companies. That's my judgment, not Fred's. And one of what I would consider to be their shell companies is it What Get Inc. And they seem to be financing their weird super PACs and all sorts of other semi-illegal, my opinion, endeavors with Is It What Yet Inc., which, ew.
Can I just say no?
It's not.
No.
It will never be. It is dry as a fucking bone forever.
Ugh.
Thank you.
What
Goodbye.
was the line in the movie Freaky? Your touch makes this pussy drier than sandpaper?
Yes, that's it. I love Freaky, by the way. Then she whispers it in his ear.
Yeah, such a great. Oh, dude, I'm so pissed. Courtney and I bought that movie, right?
Because and then it Netflix, right?
It wasn't on any streaming services.
Yep.
The day after it gets
immediately.
Delivered,
yep.
Because it got delivered, the case was damaged.
Oh.
Yeah. So she reported it. They sent us a new copy. The disc copy worked. So the day after we got the disc and watched it, it came out on streaming services. So now we got 2 copies of this fucking movie.
I love that movie.
Which movie is it?
Freaky with Vince Vaughn. He's fucking awesome. It's awesome.
Vince Vaughn plays an awkward teenage girl way too well.
Oh my God, so well. Ron's dad, Jim, hosts 8kun on his, or did host 8kun on his private server farm. Jim Watkins owns 8kun, and again, he uses a lot of money from like Is It What Yet and from other shell companies, allegedly, to finance all of his weird, shady endeavors. Ron has all the data to post as Q if he wanted to, because again, he was the site administrator for 8kun until he stepped down, which to me seems really strategic because right after he stepped down, basically, he announced he was running for Congress. It's like, well, that was planned.
Right?
That was fucking planned.
Allegedly.
Things that Ron has tweeted and pictures Ron has taken and shared on his social media have been posted also, surprise, surprise, by Q on 8chan. RIP to Ron's Twitter account, by the way, because his ass was kicked the fuck off before the 2020 elections because he was basically spreading false information for a fake conspiracy theory.
As one does.
Yeah,
as one does.
As you do.
I just can't even. Okay.
These people. So
does he have nothing else to do?
That's my feeling.
I think it also circles back to the whole idea of the psychopathic tendencies. He's now to a point that everybody hates him, but he considers it fear. He also at this narcissistic level that is just disgusting, and it's almost, you can almost see it as genetic because you're getting it from his dad.
Yes.
At the very least, it's learned behavior.
Yes, absolutely.
It goes, it's a lot to be said that this is both nature and nurture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he has been bred to be this disgusting scuzzball of a thing that kind of looks human.
Right. I think you're onto something there, Matt. I think he like considers all of this the ultimate troll. Like, I think his personality is literally like if a chanboard came to life and started talking and like taking dumps and like eating food and like fucking robots like he apparently does.
Allegedly.
By the way, thank you so much for throwing sex robot in there. While I was on the road and I swerved off the road, I was laughing so hard. And in my mind, I'm like, don't do the stupid fucking dance. You're driving.
I couldn't not put that on there. Something that's not funny. Ron Watkins often appears on his own Twitter, which, again, thank you to Fred for helping me to get a hold of a lot of Ron's old tweets because it was difficult to do since the Wayback Machine is down. Ron would on Twitter and as Q, assuming that he has been posting as Q, mock mass shootings often. He was really into mocking mass shootings, oftentimes directly after the shooters left their manifestos on 8chan. Again, that's now 8kun. On his Chan board, and he would just mock and joke about it like it was a big fucking troll. Ron appears to purposely mispronounce names and locations after shootings, like the town of Poway, California, where one of the mass shootings posted about on 8chan took place, calling it Poway. Q also saying things that sound just like Ron about it, saying stuff like good speed patriot.
Okay, first off, that Poway joke, that is the worst fucking joke ever.
So
like,
stupid.
I get it. I get making, random crap. Trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Just fucking mass shooting. Like
I sit there and I think, what is one of the douchiest jokes I've ever told in my life? Because I've told some bad ones.
And it's
I
not
think
that.
the worst one I ever said was...
Not repeat it.
Let's not.
It wasn't. It involved Paul Walker in one of his movies. That's awful.
This is a mass shooting. Yeah. Like, how? Why would that go through your head? Why?
But even if it does go through your head, you don't fucking say it. We all go have intrusive thought. Exactly. It's a thing. And if you have anxiety, they happen like 9 times more than the average person. And these thoughts come into your mind.
True.
And you can snicker at them for a second, but you just don't go out there and post it.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
I just think that fits all of that, whether it be what he was posting as Q, allegedly, or what he was posting as himself. It fits his personality type way too much. Like, this is Ron. And I agree with Sarah that very likely there was a group or is a group of people behind this. And I even think it could be a PSYOP directed by...
Q-Mitty, right?
Q-Mitty.
Yeah.
The Q-Mitty. The Q-Mitty could be...
Stupid proud of that. I'm sorry.
Yes. No, I love that. The Q-Mitty could be behind the PSYOP. I fully agree. It could have even started out as like a Russian bot or Russian troll campaign. Who knows? But I think he's been posting as Q because it just lines up way too much with his personality, the way he says things. And from Q, he specifically says, from Q into the storm, thanks to Mashable for this quote, Ron Watkins, who owns and runs 8kun, formerly 8chan, basically admitted he posted as Q in the finale of the documentary Q Into the Storm. It appeared to be an accident or a winking accident to get credit. In the doc, Watkins was talking about how he'd recently spent a lot of time spreading the false narrative that the 2020 election was stolen from Donald Trump. It was basically 3 years of intelligence training, says Ron, teaching normies how to do intelligence work. It was basically what I was doing anonymously before. Wink, wink. Seemingly catching his slip up, Watkins smirked, then followed with, but never as Q.
I would like to revise my previous statement. I don't want to slap him. I'd like to stab him in the throat with a pen.
Yeah, I agree. I like Matt's vegetable grater idea.
That.
Yeah.
Other great ones, shards of hay under his fingernails.
Yeah.
That's good.
See, I just don't want him to speak anymore.
Good. Yes. Exactly.
And also if we could remove his fingers.
Yes, please. So he can't type.
So no more communicating.
And then
I have a list of, I was going to say, I have a
Yes.
list of people that I don't ever want to hear from again.
Yep. At the end of everything, Ron makes this stupid fucking statement. I am not Q. Dude, whatever. You want everybody wondering about you.
It's another ploy to relay it to a different psychopath. My first thought, I don't know why it immediately went to Ted Bundy's porn made me do it. He wanted everybody questioning him to his grave.
Yeah.
That's right.
And to this day, we have what his acceptive motives are, but what's to say he didn't lie his way through everything?
Right.
Oh, he most certainly did.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so I know our 2020 douchebag of the year was Chris Watts.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might need to change that to the Watkins boys.
I agree.
Oh, do we
Just
do Watts versus Watkins?
I like it. Oh, I think, I like that. Yeah.
I think I know who's going to win.
I do too. Okay.
Watts versus Watkins, we can do that as like our 100th episode or something like that.
Oh, I like it.
Up to it. Specially released shirts.
Yeah.
Them dressed as clowns or just like stripped down, but we do it looking like an old-fashioned wrestling poster. Or it's them just with their heads on guillotines. I don't know.
That's
I
awesome.
like heads on guillotines.
Ron basically out and out admits to having posted his Q the way that he says what he says. And I think it's really suspicious. But again, a lot of this is staged suspicion. My friend Mike brought up a good point that, you know, it does appear to be really staged. And if you did want to pull off the ultimate troll, wouldn't you want to almost direct suspicion at yourself so that people would go, oh no, it couldn't be him? Like,
yeah, that's a really good point.
But in this way, it's backfiring.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
There's a point where
he's not smart enough to do it properly.
Right.
Just saying.
He's trying to do the joking, like, I'm a distraction. But
what if it's me?
Yeah, but he's also holding up a sign saying, I'm a distraction, saying, look at me, fuckers, you know?
Yeah.
I like how...
I did it.
I like how, Dom, you were like, what if it's me? And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, what if it's you? What if it's a giant baby with a shit-filled diaper? Oh, wait.
Exactly. Same thing. But he wants to be.
There's this uncontrollable rage bubbling up in me.
I hate it.
I haven't seen you this heated in a while, dude.
Fuck. Oh, God, just fuck this guy.
Yes, agree. Same here.
Okay, even if he's not Q, fuck this guy.
Fuck him.
Even if he is Q, fuck him harder with a chainsaw.
Right. So
that wonderful scene from Freaky.
Yes. Oh, I love it. You've got to watch that.
God, I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna love it.
You're gonna love it. Me and the person I'm not gonna name because they're gonna help us out with some of our upcoming work.
Tuesday.
Yay! Tuesday. I love it. We watched Freaky together, and I'm obsessed. I like anybody who comes over to stay. I'm like, we have to watch this movie. It's so fucking funny.
It is hilarious.
Okay, so even though I like horror and thrillers and stuff like that, I'm also a big ass chicken shit. So
hilarious.
Could I watch it in the hotel room by myself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely. Have you seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, it's Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, Tucker and Dale versus is one of my absolute favorites.
Okay.
I quote it more often than I should.
I love it.
But take Tucker and Dale versus Evil, put it in high school.
Yeah.
Throw in a couple gay characters.
Yeah, true.
And make it an homage to 80s slasher.
Yes.
And that's
and it's good.
Yes.
By the way, I know that Vince Vaughn is a more conservative person. I don't know that he supports Trump or anything, but I just have to say, anytime we talk about Vince Vaughn, my actor friend Katie Corby says he is one of the kindest people she's ever met. He's like one of the loveliest people she's ever worked with. So I don't ever feel bad giving my like money to Vince Vaughn. I think he's like a good guy.
Yeah, he seems like a good dude.
He does. And I guess he like made sure that everybody got paid fairly and they were like hiring union actors.
Cool. Okay. So he is
he's just good.
He seems decent. Okay.
He does.
Making sure everyone gets paid fairly is a huge thing.
Me too. I agree.
Like that's not a like capitalism eating itself conservative type thing.
Exactly.
Like that seems like a legit good person thing. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Plus he's a Chicago guy.
Yeah, so that's true.
We gotta like that.
He is. Yeah, that's where my friend Katie, if anyone wants to check her out, she was in the movie The Dilemma with Vince Vaughn filmed here in Chicago. And she was the like snarky waitress in that movie. So
snarky waitress, that's a role I could play.
Totally. And
I could see you doing that. Or shit talking bartender.
Oh yeah, that.
Ooh.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Shit talk.
I could do that. Okay. I mean, when I play D&D, I'm usually like a clever rogue.
I was thinking of you being the dungeon master and being like snarky bartender. That's what I was.
Snarky bartender.
That'll be my next character. That'll have to be a bard.
Yes.
I will say like Melissa from Heat.
Oh my God, I love it.
Like I could, Sarah, if you were a cop, I could see you pulling the thing where you call the white, like how she called the dude's wife. He was trying to pick up the prostitute and he just fucked with him. I could see you pulling that. I could definitely see you pulling
100%. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Papaya. Yeah. Papaya. Oh, Jinx. Yep. Okay. Ron essentially admits posting his Q, which to me says that he's picking up where somebody left off because the way he phrases the tense, like the past tense of it, B, the way that he seems comfortable claiming it. I know he's a troll and everything, but it just seems like a role that he picks up and puts down and picks up again. Easily, he could have been picking up from Baruch the scribe or someone else. And who knows, somebody might pick the role up after him. Although with his personality traits, I think he's going to want to keep it, even though he knows he shouldn't. I think he's going to be compelled to keep posting his Q, which I hope he'll get his fucking ass caught.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to pop back up.
Oh, yeah.
Probably a lot closer to the next election.
Yeah,
they'll make a couple random ones, probably during the midterms. I'm surprised there wasn't a Q drop during this last election.
Yeah, me too.
Especially with all the stuff going on in my state.
Yeah, true.
I was very surprised about that.
Well,
and
you know what?
Too.
Honestly, I think that part of the reason he didn't is
one.
Youngkin. Part of me thinks that because Youngkin kept Trump like
at a distance,
social distancing away, as in like Cartman with the red stick with the stick with the red ribbon on it, like, oh, social distancing, you need to stay this far away from me.
I at least need you to get some of your homework done, okay? And then maybe take a shower.
Oh, what a volume. Shower scenes when my generation is being denied their lives.
There's going to be a big meeting. Sounds like they're trying to get you kids back to school.
We can't go back to school. There's a fucking pandemic.
They're talking about maybe staggering you kids every other day.
They can't do that.
Eric, you're going to be able to be with all the other kids again.
Oh, no, I see. There's all this horrible stuff going on in the world, but apparently Cartman's life doesn't matter.
Eric, you can't...
Get back. 6 feet, ma'am. 6 fucking feet.
Yep.
Because he wasn't like, yay, Trump. Because he was like,
I want to be strategic about this.
Because he did that, I think that's part of the reason that he kept his mouth shut.
Yeah.
I feel like if Youngkin would have been like Marjorie
Trump,
Taylor Greene or gun-toting Barbie out of fucking Colorado, one of those.
Yeah,
those assholes that belong in jail.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have been a different story.
Yeah, I agree.
But still, like, even nothing right at the start. I could have saw him put something in there, but he's probably creamed his panties. You know, he might be in his.
This is his cool down period, like a fucking serial killer.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, because he caused the insurrection.
Yeah, you did.
What is gonna be his next thing? Or did the insurrection cause whoever the committee was being like, oh shit, we took it too far, and they actually had a rational moment?
Well, maybe because Steve Bannon didn't even show up, and he could be arrested because he didn't show up.
Steve Bannon.
Sorry.
That guy.
Question.
So in typical serial killer fashion, you know, they always escalate. They like cool down and then they escalate. How can you fucking escalate past an insurrection?
Running for Congress and keeping it, World War.
And I really feel like running for Congress is a step below an insurrection.
It might be, but you know what? He's going to have a national platform. Here's what true. I think he's just testing out functioning as himself for once. And like Matt said last time, he's throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. I think this is one of those things he's throwing at the wall to see if it sticks. He's trying to test out, will I get the same positive reaction and positive reinforcement from people if I just act as myself rather than Q? And I think he'll go back to posting as Q either way, because like he's going to be kind of addicted to it at this point.
Oh yeah.
He
I'm
is
surprised
going
he's
to
gone
be,
so long.
He's going to want to scratch that itch at this election.
Yeah, really?
Absolutely. I think this is a cool down period. I think he reached his peak, and who knows? Who knows? There could be another, God forbid, there's another big tragedy, and we have to see how the administration react around that.
Right.
You know, so we never know what's going to happen in this world. And that's one of the scariest things about, and one of the most exciting things about being alive is we never know what's going to happen day to day. And unfortunately, we live in a world full of dickheads. Dickheads with power. Dickheads with weapons. Dickheads who can cause history with a single dumb fucking mistake because they believe one thing that is just astronomically stupid.
Yes, exactly.
And it has been taken too far. And he could just pop back up with that, which could cause another insurrection. You know,
easily.
We're living in such tumultuous times.
Yes, we are.
We're one fucking spark away from setting off this huge powder keg.
And I think he likes having that power too. I think he likes it. Yeah, he is all about it.
I will say, to kind of bounce off Matt's statement, I really feel like things have cooled down a hell of a lot in the past 11 months.
11 months, yeah.
Since Biden has seriously taken the reins, I feel like things have cooled down a lot. We have this conversation this time last year, very different story.
Totally. But
very different story.
Like Matt said, though, anytime it could flare back up because it's like the embers.
I do feel like, though, there will be an escalation point before we have a giant explosion like the insurrection again. Was my point.
Sorry.
You know, all of 2020 was the buildup to the insurrection. You know,
yes, that's true.
2020 was like the worst fucking year, and then 2021 said, "Oh, we're 6 days in. Hold my beer."
Here you go. Like, let me show you what bad is.
Hold on, motherfuckers.
We thought we were in the Hangover, and that's when you get the hangover vomits and retaste the beer, and you vomit again.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. You retaste all of the shit that you shouldn't have been putting into your system.
The insurrection was looking back at your phone or your bank account after a long night out and saying, "Oh shit, I did that."
It's also worth noting that Jim Watkins, Ron's dad, was called to testify before Congress about the potential ramifications of his image board 8chan and how it may have affected mass shooters and mass shootings, and whether his flimsy, my opinion, free speech argument outweighs the rights of Americans not to be fucking shot by incels. And if he had anything to do with planning the mass shootings, or if he could be involved in some way or linked to that, because I happen to think he could be. I think he'd be linked to that causally, and that he could easily be accused of having something to do with that.
For sure.
It's interesting to point out that he actually used Steve Bannon's high-powered attorney to defend him in front of Congress.
Of course he did. Steve Bannon was like, "Here, you want to borrow him for a minute?"
Exactly. But no, there's no link at all between him and Steve Bannon.
If you're not close to somebody, you're not going to say, bro, borrow my lawyer.
Right. Exactly. Here's my lawyer.
If some dude I never met me asked, hey, do you got a lawyer I could use?
I don't know.
I don't know you. I'm not even going to let you borrow my fucking lawnmower. That doesn't work.
Right. But why are websites and image boards like Yeah, exactly. I'm basic.
Yeah,
That's
basic.
all. He's looking at me like daring me to look away and do something else because he's going to fucking bark again.
Try me.
But why are websites and image boards like 8kun allowed to continue operating? Wouldn't getting rid of them get rid of Q, at least to some extent? Well, as EFF.org says, CDA Section 230 says that no provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provider. And that's 47 USC Part 230. Essentially, Section 230 is the founding rule of the internet. If the owner, let's say, of Facebook, if Zuck is punished for everybody who says dumb shit on Facebook, he can't run Facebook anymore. So the same applies for
a really
8chan.
Bad thing.
Exactly.
Smoke them meats.
So the same applies for 8chan, 8kun, whatever. I agree with the free speech argument, but at the same time, maybe they should be held accountable for that. I certainly think Ron Watkins and Jim Watkins are suspects A number 1 and 2 for, hey, maybe we should have that conversation and change Section 230 and make them culpable.
For real, think we should.
Oh, and guess what? Trump agrees. Trump agrees. But yet they support Trump.
I have a comment on this.
Comments aren't allowed, just questions.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So
sorry.
If someone has hate speech in your bar, right? Being free speech, they can say what they want. Prime example, in a bar. Bunch of people in a bar speaking their minds.
Right.
Whatever the fuck they want. Someone says something, they get punched in the face.
Exactly.
Cool. Now, should the
your free speech has consequences.
Yes.
Now,
exactly.
Does the bartender deserve to be punished for the man getting punched in the face because he didn't like what the guy said?
Well,
no, because he's not publishing it.
Exactly,
and that's what I was getting to.
Yes.
If he then sides with said, attacker or makes fun of it in some way, should they be held responsible?
Right, like of course,
yes, absolutely.
And he has to take some culpability of it happened in his bar. What kind of an environment are you creating in your bar? Like, go back to the fucking drawing board and figure it out if you're literally having fights every week or, mass shootings all the time.
It's kind of like the OSHA rule. So if you as an employer, if it is brought to your attention that the floor is slippery, and you don't fix it in X amount of time, you could be sued for said slippery floor if your customer slips on it. Exactly. However, if you were unaware of said slippery floor, you can't technically be sued for it. Now, it would be harder to have that case stick. But opposed to, oh God, me as the employer, I hear, oh, this floor is slippery. So I say, hey, janitor, can you please go clean this up right now? The janitor says, okay, fine, grabs his bucket and goes. But in between him immediately doing that, somebody is slipping, that's not a reasonable amount of time.
True. That's true.
You have a reasonable amount of time to do it.
That's a good stipulation, I think, actually. I believe
that is the law, and I believe I learned that's from Heather on Sinisterhood.
Yay, Heather! Thank you.
Yay, Heather on Sinisterhood.
One point that just popped into my brain.
Man.
You want to run this board that anybody can say anything and just get it out there, which is great. But you have to understand the one person that kind of has to censor themselves in that situation is the person running the site.
Yeah, true.
You have to be smart. You have to know when to shut up
and
how to react. This is what happens when we give immature children power.
That's a good point.
Well, that's why I think at the very least, you can't believe I'm going to say this, but just roll with me for a hot second. Facebook and Instagram and Twitter need personal information about you before you can join their site, provided they keep it under lock and key and they keep it secret. So then if you do something stupid, like post your fucking manifesto to it, you then, as the publisher of this manifesto, can do something about it. You can take it down. You can say, hey, authorities, you need to check this guy out. I feel that would be a responsible social media thing to do, opposed to just go ahead and do whatever the fuck you want. I'll just hang out back here and stir the pot.
Yeah, I'll just be back here making sure that everything benefits me.
I'll stir the pot with one hand and jack off with the other.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I'm going to jack off towards the pot.
Obviously.
In the pot. Yeah.
Obviously, that's what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, God. That is the ultimate image of a troll.
Yes.
Aren't you glad I put that in your brain? Everybody?
Yes. Thank you. No, but it's such a good example. Yeah, that's what Sarah's job is here. Wait, I thought that was my job. Wait, I thought that was Matt's job. But we
don't have jobs here.
We don't need jobs.
There is no community here.
If you haven't realized, this is a shit show.
Yeah. Hello.
Here's your first clue.
Why have you been listening? What do you think this is? Not a shit show?
Are you that person who's listening to give us 1-star reviews? Did
That's
we
it.
hurt you?
That's
Did we
it.
hurt you?
Did we hurt your feelings?
Oh, Lord.
We're so sorry. I'm not either. I just shared in the chat or in the Zoom chat this thing. If you guys want to click on it so that you know what I'm going to be explaining here, feel free. So you guys decide. Do you think Ron Watkins is the most likely suspect for posting most recently? And again, not the only person behind it, just the most likely suspect for the person recently posting as Q on 8chan/8kun. Let us know what you guys think. And here, I'm going to share this in the notes in the drop-down description of the show. Here's an interesting graphic that anybody looking into the identity of Q should be looking at based on the metadata scraped from screenshots, posts, and pictures, which, as we talked about before, and Mike definitely told me to say on this episode, it can be edited. It can. But based on the brazenness that Q or Watkins normally employs and his use of shit like Matlock as his fucking password, I think we can assume it.
Him so much.
Me too. And I think that based on all of that, we can assume that the specific piece of data probably wasn't edited.
Mm-hmm.
We can't know for sure, but I think we have a good idea that it probably wasn't edited. But all of the data matches up almost exactly to where Ron Watkins has been both living and traveling. And I'll read it in just a sec. It should be noted that if Ron Watkins really has been Q, at least since Q started posting on 8chan/8kun, or sometime shortly thereafter, that it is unlikely that his father, Jim, is unaware. I think Jim's well aware of what his son's up to. So here's where the posts and pictures have been coming from. Interestingly enough, either the Philippines, Australia, Japan, Philippines and Japan, Ron Watkins has lived there. China, Ron Watkins has traveled to China. Malaysia, Ron has traveled to Malaysia. Over the Pacific Ocean, Ron takes a lot of flights throughout the Pacific. And then
I just had a really gross thought. He's one of those sex tourists, isn't he?
Yep, he is. He literally tried to get Colin Hoback, the guy who did Q Into the Storm on HBO, to go to Soap World with him, which is basically a sex area in Japan. And then Ron and Jim moved to the west coast of the US, and surprise, surprise, the posts and the metadata from images starts coming up from the US now. Imagine that. What a coinky dink.
That is a coinky dink.
Isn't it? Like what?
Yeah. I don't think what do you know? You don't say. This isn't where in the world is Ron fucking Watkins. I think we goddamn know.
It's so stupid. It's like the Matlock password all over again.
It's like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego if you're real dumb?
Yes, if you're really
real dumb. It's like the beginning level of it.
Yeah, it is.
This is playing Math Blaster on easy, where it's just 1 + 1 comes up the whole time.
And you're like, yes, I'm a genius.
I got this. I'm so fucking smart.
I think we've built a good case, but you guys let us know what you think.
I have one minor theory. I'm good. Good.
Right.
I scared you? Excellent. No.
Yes.
I do believe in the Q-Mitty.
Me too. Yeah.
I think there is another member of the Q-Mitty because they just wanted to get their fingers in the pie.
Mm-hmm.
And
Kanye
I think
West.
no. If Kanye West did a Q drop,
he's big into Trump.
That's true.
I think Donald Trump did one of the Q drops. I think he wanted to get his finger in the pie and just thought he would be clever, and he was the one who wrote Mockingbird or some shit like that. Like,
I just say, can we never talk about Donald Trump's fingers in anything ever again?
Ew.
Ever.
You're right.
Ever.
So Donald Trump actually shared a bunch of Ron Watkins's personal tweets from his Twitter, like a bunch of them, like directly from his Twitter immediately after he tweeted them. So there's a symbiotic relationship at the very least.
I mean, what's to fucking say?
Yeah.
That when Trump was going in office and all that, he knew Watkins beforehand. So this was orchestrated by Trump through Watkins to do all this shit.
That's possible.
I wouldn't be surprised. Because,
thing,
he's playing 4D chess.
Yeah, and I'm going to get picked up in a black van tomorrow, and you're never going to fucking see me again.
Well, we'll at least know who did it because, we're playing Math Blaster on easy right now.
Yeah, exactly. We'll know who did it. We can come for him. So I guess that about
we've got the audio.
Yeah, we've got the audio. Just, you know what?
God, if I got picked up by fucking QAnon people before I become a suppressive person,
that would be a failure.
I know.
That would
would be a little disappointed in us.
Honestly, me too.
Stick a fork in you, you're done.
Exactly. I was going to say pour alcohol on me and ignite me and then roll me down a hill into a river, but it's fine.
Well, you know what? Yeah, you better.
I sum that up a little bit for you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
Don't think that it gets any easier from here. We're going to have, I can't even call it a comfy sweater episode because it's kind of gushy.
Yeah.
You know what? When I say grab bag, Matt, I mean you open it up to a random page and we just roll.
That's what we were kind of doing the other day.
Yeah. That's how we ended it.
You could open it up and you could be like, it's not gonna work, and then go, oh, I really opened it to this page.
Yeah,
I really cannot wait until you hear about the slide rock. The slide rock folder. The slide rock folder.
The whale of the mountain whale.
The mountain whale? Stop it. Stop it.
Sorry.
Stop.
Colorado.
Oh, that explains everything.
Yeah.
How high were they?
Right.
That must have been some good fucking weed.
Or opium back then. I don't know.
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah.
You know what it probably was? It was probably some sick ass shrooms.
That's it.
The Oklahoma octopus. Yeah, so that could be fun. We could learn about the vampire that's buried in the Hollywood Cemetery.
Oh, I really want to go there. Ooh. That's where the psychic horse is buried, or nearby, or something like that. That's
the cemetery I went to last year with my friends Sean, Michelle, and Ryan.
Cool. Yeah.
That was Hollywood Cemetery.
Yeah, the psychic horse is buried near there.
Psychic horse.
It is the best con artist I think I've seen.
I love that.
Not the horse, the owner.
The owner, I imagine. The horse just
played along. Oh, the horse did a good job, though.
Yeah.
The horse did a great job.
Yeah.
Wait, he trained the horse to do shit?
Well, to paw.
She did. Yes.
at the ground at a certain time.
And admittedly, if anything is spooky about it, she had a hell of a good animal sense. Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing your insanity, and
keep asking questions.
Follow us on all the social stuff. We do have the Patreon, and make your own reality.
And let the facts be your answers. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to First Question Podcast, only on the Dominique Does Life Podcast Network. Listen wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, everything we discuss in First Question Podcast is alleged, is in our opinion, and is often delivered with a healthy helping of comedy.